What did you think of Jon's performance over Cyril Gane in his last fight?
It just looked like Cyril was scared of the moment. Too much pressure, too big. He was afraid. Shouldn't even have been in there that night. So, honestly, James, it looked like it was a work. It looks like it was a fix. Maybe Jon Jones's brothers went over to France and told Cyril that, they're going to pay him under the table to take a dive. Because that's honestly what it looked like.
So, as you guys can see in the previous clip, Colby Covington literally says, it looks like a fix. And I want to give credit to the person that alerted me to this clip. It was a commenter named Ben Q on one of the videos that I made about UFC 285 being rigged. Ben Q was the one that alerted me to this video. I do not like to take credit for something I didn't do. So shout out to that commenter. All right, back to the video. You can see Colby Covington literally says it looks like a fix. Colby Covington has done more fighting than anybody in the comment section. So the people that are trying to argue against this being a fix, well, a professional fighter who knows way more about fighting than you ever will literally came out and says that looks like a fix. You may try to counteract him saying that by saying, oh, it's Colby Covington. He is known for saying controversial things. All right, you could say that if you want, but deep down inside, you know that that's devastating evidence against your viewpoint that this cannot be a fix. All right, many people are noticing that that fight looked ridiculous. But again, there's no point arguing with the gullible sheep because no matter how much evidence you show them, their egos won't allow them to admit that they might have been fooled. Or they just could be NPCs. Or it could be arguing with bots. Who knows? Either way, as a truther, I have to learn to just let it go. Because some people are gonna keep their viewpoints no matter how much evidence you present to the contrary. Let me talk about the Matrix, right? This is a really bizarre reality we live in because it presents different things like this. It presents tons of conspiracies, tons of things that just couldn't happen the way that the mainstream presented it. That's why I believe we live in some type of matrix, some type of simulation, man, because for all these things to be happening and hardly anybody to ever come out and blow the whistle, it's really bizarre. But I think a lot of us are going through a grieving process because the UFC and fighting was the last thing that young or even older males had to look forward to. And even that's being taken away from us. So not only is the economy fake, politics is fake, and the last thing we had, which was two men getting in a ring and fighting non-lethal combat, the last beautiful thing we had, is being taken away from us. We're being turned into effeminate males throughout society. And this last thing we had is now being shown to be fake. It's sad. It's really sad. I mean, there are some weeks where all I used to look forward to, for the most part, was the fight. And now we can't even do that. So on some level, I can kind of understand the cognitive dissonance that people show, that they don't want to believe that the last piece of entertainment that they had is fake, but it is what it is. Am I saying they fix every fight? No, they don't fix every fight. Most of them are real, but they do fix some of the title fights. And it makes sense. Of course, if you're Dana White, you're going to fix some things. All right, check out this clip of Joe Rogan talking about how fake talk shows are. Check it out.
Late night things is so true. Because I remember watching them do monologues with no audience. And I was like, who said okay to this? Why are you doing this? There's not a fucking chance in hell that this is funny or going to work. And when you see those flat, corny, late night monologue jokes with no audience, those are so fucking cringy. And you're dealing with a lot of these people that are not stand-up comics. So they don't even really, truly understand how to deliver it right. Like, they don't have the chops. What they're doing is just like reading off of a teleprompter. So a bunch of really good joke writers wrote them some stuff, and then they're playing to the audience, and the audience is like laughing, so they get this feedback, and they know how to do that. When they're just them and the camera, you're in the void now. You're in deep space. There's no one around you, and it's fucking wild to watch.
It is wild. Can you unlock, like, how different is that from, like, stand-up? I'm just, like, a casual viewer of, like, the, like, late nights. I mean, I know they say, like, applause, but is that real, like, laughter? And, like, are they, like, saying, like, hey, clap?
Oh, there's someone who's doing this. There's someone in front of the crowd. There's a warm-up guy, and generally the warm-up guy's a failed comedian or a middling comedian who's just trying to make it, and they're doing the warm-up thing as like a side gig. And there's people that are good at warm-up, and the problem with being good at warm-up is it's a profitable job, and it'll actually keep you from being good at stand-up.
Oh, you're like stuck doing
Yes, you get
forever.
stuck. I've had friends that were stuck doing warm-up, and then some of them quit, and some of them didn't, and the ones that didn't are fucked. And because those shows don't even exist anymore. There's only a handful of those shows. So, like, if you see, like, how many talk shows are there? There's very few.
Yeah.
There's Colbert, there's Jimmy Kimmel, there's Fallon. There's a few. There's only a few.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they stand there, and there's applause signs. And then there's producers. There's the warm-up guy that's literally telling people at the club. They're like, okay, explain to the people. Okay, when Jimmy comes out, I want a big round of applause. Let's practice this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Fallon. Yeah. And everybody claps.
Practice it.
Yes. They'll train the audience how to do it, depending upon the set.
So there you go. You heard it from the horse's mouth. A guy that is actually in Hollywood saying how surprised he was at how fake late night TV shows were. If you know anything about Hollywood, you know how fake it is. I was on a reality TV show once. I had to sign an NDA, and boy, oh boy, I was an extra on there, like a background person. And one day I'll say the story again. It was so fake. Even the building was fake. The thermostat was fake. I mean, everything about the show was fake. The people that you think are real are actually actors, even if they present them as real. It was the craziest thing ever. And my boy that was with me and his fiance at the time and her friend were all like, oh my God, we did not know Hollywood was this fake. So the people that argue against, oh, the UFC would never rig fights. Oh, they would get in trouble. They know nothing about Hollywood. The UFC is an entertainment company. It's not a sports company. Look up the paperwork. Anyway, that's that. Again, I think we live in a matrix. I heard it said once that when you see a celebrity or somebody do the one-eyed symbolism, that's them alerting you that, hey, this reality is fake. It's not them trying to be evil. It's them telling you, hey, reality isn't what you think it is. Okay, guys, have a good day.